Matter of fact, Harvey was he's got this Velcro.
Okay, where's the chain, Chris? I'm about to be out. I'm out. I want you to do it. I'm about to see. Come on. If anything can become harsh, you try to get anyone like hell. We need one more for the chain. No, we need one more for the chain. Okay. Say. Come on. This is the rule. If they come here, you can compensate for the run. But if they come here and me, you can get in front of me. Let's go, fellas. One more. I blocked somebody got hit in front of me. I'm trying to get out the way. Yo, who is this? Cheating. Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Nice. Good.
Where's my guys on the Ready? We're gonna go with JJ Harvey. JJ Harvey to shake and start it out.
Thank you, sir.
Who might be the first man? Oh my God! Oh my Like Silver.
Hey, the Tariq. If they come out with a tight end and we're the 3-man front, we automatically lose the 4-man front. That's an automatic call. Now, you know what happens if we don't? We're overbalanced. You got a tight end there.
Oh, that's up. Get down there. You'll live. Next quarter, right? Oh. No, the bull. Yo, Doc. You already know As soon as you step there, you stand right there. Wait. Y'all give me the one. You get 2 plays, that's it. You told this shit already. 1 play. Have the 2 yards.
Put the hands up.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Whenever you want to, just you feel me? Look, that's good. You go down. I went and did the air perfect. Get out there. I'm happy I ain't like took it down or nothing. Did you play this?
I was great. No, I was playing my throw the flag. Every one of them. Right because I said they didn't say you did it. I came right up and said that.
I know the whole time. You got too much luggage.
And then the next play is big, no, big.
Come on, hurry.
This is his foot. You should be right here. Back here. Don't matter. All right, we're going to stay with safety right now. Safety right now. Safety. I was only. You don't want the ball. Get him. Go get him. Get away from him.
Like a motherfucker, they start talking shit afterwards. Like, nigga.
Let's go, team. I know. I see you throw. I said, this shit goes in my head. I look right. I see Rob like this. I'm like, he gonna get that bitch. Man. He gonna get that bitch. That shit jumped like a fucking crap. I said, his nigga. Yo, ring. No, that was Hey, Makai, we good.
Come on, watch the ball. Watch the ball! Watch the ball! Watch the ball, kids! Eddie!
We'll see what they do here.
Well, my main experience in football mostly comes from my work with the Oakland Cougars youth organization. They're about 20 minutes away from here and a lot closer to where DWB is based out of in Audubon. But basically what's going on is, like the ref would sometimes communicate to us 4 minutes, 2 minutes. They would make it audible. But because we've got headsets on and, the field's a lot more muffled, it's a lot more, I would say, isolated, if you will. So Howard's putting up his hands. He's celebrating like there's no tomorrow.
Well,
looks like
we
good.
got to make it there first. All right, on fourth down.
And another flag.
And it allows more time to say thank goodness as another flag goes down. We've seen a bunch of those here in the first quarter. And
yeah, she said he just went live.
all right, so while they discuss, we're very thankful. Thank you for hanging there with us. We apologize for the difficulties, but So we'll just keep on going here. The Bengals, of course, a 16-0 lead. First of all, Dartmouth now more with the first score. Now, of course, the nice touchdown catch by Nadir Smith.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught that false start on the offense.
I
for
kind of
Arbutus.
figured that because usually you have a lot of times where the false start happens, and 95% of the time it will be on the offense.
Right.
But you also have to look at the far side officials. They're going to run to the head referee and signal whether it be hands on your hips or do the Macarena, just doing a traveling sign like in basketball.
I was going to say that's the travel. That's not the Macarena. I don't know what parties you've been going to.
That's because I can't dance, but that's one of your favorite tunes. But here we go with going to be 4th and 13. That's going to change the play call, I think.
I'd imagine it would. With a 5-yard difference, I think it's pretty common human nature to, to switch it up.
Check now. Keep going.
So I definitely think they should definitely go for a bigger prize here, kind of all or nothing in this situation.
It's still early, so on 4th down, it'll be Kevin Brown punting and not punting very well as it's going to take a neutral bounce, and then it's swatted.
It was swatted by the offense.
And then Nadir Smith tries to return it. Now, once you touch it, I thought the play's dead. Now, we have a flag down at 36-yard line. That did not look normal.
That should definitely, I don't know what you would call it, but I'm 99% sure that would be a penalty with the offense picked up and swatted the punt.
Well, usually that would mean once you touch it, it's down.
Yeah, that should have been dead when the Arbutus player on the front line picked up the football. I don't know how that play wasn't whistled dead earlier.
While the officials are discussing.
Let's try if we can hear this.
And we have first touching. If you decline the ineligible downfield, it's your ball up.
While the coaches for the Bengals check in with the referee, finding out what the heck happened here.
Yeah,
either way, it's going
to be a dead ball.
That's a live ball. No.
So we're trying to wait on the official.
We have on the kicking team,
hang on one
ineligible downfield, penalties declined, first touching by the kicking team, first down this way.
All right, so they called the penalty against Arbutus, but it has been declined. So for the Bengals, they will have first down in plus territory in a very good spot. They are at the Arbutus 43-yard line, already with a 16-0 lead. They've already forced a turnover. They're 2 for 2 in touchdowns and 2-point conversions. A lot of things going right for them. But now let's see what Darnell Moore can do for act number 3. They spread out here, waiting a shotgun snap. A high one, and the handoff, that's not going to work very well as Mackley Hawkins was stood up, and that Arbutus Big Red came charging and forces a 4-yard loss.
We've seen a lot of helmets flying off in this game. We're now in the second. Should be the first.
Any timeouts? Yeah, 2 each, I think. Should they use 2 each? No, each team.
Yeah, each team has 2.
Yeah, we're just quickly updating some things here now that we finally got our technical issues settled here.
That's it, Tom. Audio.
Well, technical audio issues. Well, there were issues anyway, but we got them fixed. Anyway, it's 2nd and 14 from the 47-yard line. Now they're going to go empty gun here. As Moore stands all alone, they go heavy on the right, actually heavy on the left with receivers, taking the snap. Looking, going to take a shot downfield. He's got a man. What a hard hit. It's incomplete. If it weren't for number 39 jarring that one, that would have probably been at least a 20-yard pickup. But that hard hit forces the incompletion and 3rd and long.
See, I know some organizations that would call a personal foul on that, but that's just hard football right there. That's just sorry, Howard.
But as long as you hit inbounds and as long as you hit within the field of play and in the right spot,
right?
Then that's no harm, no foul. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's definitely something that we've seen a couple times be a controversial issue, especially at the higher echelon level of football. But here, I think it's more, any man's game, really.
So now it'll be 3rd and 14. And they're going to bunch a triangle of receivers on the right as Moore goes back to pass. He's under a rush, trying to get out and will not. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good tackle by Charlie Mills there. Maybe gets a yard back to the 46, but it looks like Arbutus is finally awakened, and they will force the Bengals to punt.
Yeah, I mean, Darnell Moore's helmet came off again. I don't know if they're not strapped on right or if it's just a one-size-fits-all.
It probably is the way the chin straps are on these helmets. You have
They're
to
too loose.
Yeah, a lot of time. I mean, this is not the Headless Horseman and Jason Witten, but let's also not forget that you've got a lot of straps. It could be older helmets. I mean, you want helmets that are safe, but you also want chin straps that are safe.
Yeah.
I mean, this shouldn't be happening as often as it is, but unfortunately, that's what happens a lot in semi-pro. So chalk it up to experience. All right, empty gun. They're going for it on 4th down as Moore is back to pass, trying to find a receiver. Throws one, cutting back. It is caught, but not going. Oh, spinning through a couple of tackles, but just not quite making it will be Nadir Smith. He gets about the 39-yard line, and thankfully, I don't know if I can say thankfully, but thankful for the Arbutus Big Red. They were able to make the stop, and they turned the ball over on downs, and we'll get the ball from there. And I believe we finally have hit quarter time. So let's take a break here at the end of the first. 16-0. It's the Bengals over the Big Red with quarter number 2 after this.
In an industry where on-time service is of the utmost importance, Moore Trucking, established in 2019, maintains its reputation as an expert in the fields of freight consolidation, warehousing, and general logistical solutions for distributors and e-commerce professionals throughout the area. Our courteous services are delivered with each driver being an owner-operator. Contact us at 267-576-8954 for more information and rates.
There we go. Flag down.
Yes, indeed. My favorite term that everyone hates. But it's still a penalty against Arbutus for holding, so that's a 10-yard penalty. And, I mean, there have been a ton of them today. But you have to remember, you don't know what officiating crew you're going to get. Some officiating crews let you play. Others are going to be so ticky-tack that it's going to be flag football in another way, you know?
Yeah, and that was called holding on Arbutus as right now. This has just been, as I said, Flagpalooza. Flags back and forth. Every single nitpick is being called, but that's fine. Follow the letter of the law. You know, call football the right way. Don't leave room for, don't leave room for slack.
Well, it's just a matter of, like I said, how officials call the game. You have to adjust to it and be mentally ready. Now on 1st and 20, here's a throw on the right side, and the pass, I believe, ended up going incomplete. That was in the direction of Kevin Brown along the right. No, I beg your pardon. That was number 7, Joshua Floyd, who was along the side and just couldn't hang on to it. So it just seems like the passing for Arbutus just has been off, but I think some of it has to be credited to the Bengals defense.
I don't know how much of it needs to be credited to the Bengals defense. I mean, they're just straight up dropping the they're just straight up dropping the football. That was a dime right to Floyd, and it just dropped it. I mean, there's really no way to sugarcoat that.
But remember something. But remember something, Dan. I mean, these players are always trying. They're always trying to make the grab. And sometimes you have to remember, at other times you're just unable to come down with a catch. But they're always trying to put an effort. I mean, it's not like the NFL where they actually say he straight out dropped it. So the second down pass ends up going incomplete as there was just nobody open. So now a 3rd and 20 coming up for Arbutus, who looked like they got off to a good start to the drive, but a holding penalty accrued, and here we go again, 3rd and long now for the Big Red.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has definitely been a good benefactor here for the Bengals, and it's been a good factor for them to hold on to this lead, especially, you don't want to get lackadaisical on the defensive side of the ball. If you let up a touchdown, the momentum could easily swing the other way. And what you want to do for Tri-State right now is you're ahead. Don't let it swing the other way. Keep the momentum in your court.
And that's a great point because many years ago when I played man football, there was always this little thing on the bottom that says it's hard to say which team's going to have the edge. But although one team currently has the lead, it only takes one play for a game to completely turn around. And now official time is called, so
What do you got?
looks like another flag is down. We may have an error false start. Officials are talking it over. So we're going to see how this, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
5 yards.
And 3rd and 25. Not exactly what Arbutus had in mind here as they're just trying to get things going. And like I said, any drive you have, penalties just stop it. Literally stop it in its tracks, especially when it's holding.
And that's what we've seen so far. I mean, it's been flags back and forth. A lot of these guys can't make progress because there's flags just going right in front of everybody.
If it's a flag, it's a helmet. Now on 3rd down, they're going to show a handoff up the middle, but good closing speed by the Bengals defense. And unfortunately for Alfonso Litton, he was not able to get much on the play, and it'll be punting time again for the Big Red. And something else to consider, Dan, consider the, of course, traveling to get here. I mean, obviously, when you're on the road, I mean, that can take up a little bit of your energy. And being in unfamiliar territory, that could cause you to kind of lose yourself a little bit, especially from the mental sharpness perspective.
And having to travel from Maryland, where Arbutus is based out of, all the way up here to South Jersey. I mean, it's not easy. One bus. I saw it parked here earlier. The coach bus that was parked in the parking lot. I mean, that's, it's decent, but it's still a thankless opportunity for these guys.
All right, a much better punt, and Arbutus all over the returner. One hard hit led to another hard hit, and finally the third hard hit finally got down. Rafi Cheeseborough, who one of the legendary names of semi-pro football, he ended up getting tackled trying to make the return, but he was just knocked down very hard by the Big Red that time. So good special teams play by Arbutus, and now they're going to have to go back on defense as the Bengals try and build under 16-0 lead with 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe.
And they really got just swallowed up by the Big Red. That's been a big silver lining, is that their defense, even if they've given up those 2 touchdowns, the defense has made a valiant effort to stop it in their tracks as best as they can. Just Tri-State has overpowered them, so now it's going to be their job to get back into high gear again and stop them again.
Special teams have played a good role in keeping Arbutus afloat in this game. But we'll see what happens here from midfield on 1st and 10. Here's Moore with a handoff and a hard hit, a second hard hit. I mean, Arbutus is now flying to the ball and forces another big loss. Looks like Mackley Hawkins had that one. It seems like he's not getting too much in the name of forward progress. They're probably going to give him the 46, and it's a loss of 4.
And that's a good start for the Big Red. You already gave up the ball and got them to basically have a loss on the punt return. And you don't see that every day. You usually keep a more conservative approach when it comes to the punt return, maybe let them get a few yards and then rush in so that they can't get any further. But these guys were all over the ball. And the fact that they have now forced another tackle for loss can definitely swing things the other way if Tri-State is not careful.
All right, they're going to say to 43. That was a 7-yard loss. So Moore's got his work cut out for him. They're going to triple the left side in a 4-receiver set. Mort goes back, and he will fire this one. Nice catch at midfield, shaking through a couple of tackles and getting down to the 45-yard line. That was actually a nice recovery on the part of the receiver there, which I believe was Dustin Singleton. And he was able to get back to the 46 and force a 3rd and 6. So now you have something a lot more manageable, Dan. Compare 3rd and 17 to 3rd and 6. Those are two completely different worlds there.
Yeah, I mean, that is a big rebound for Tri-State after having that bad first down start. Now they've set the tone, and they've really rebounded in a great way to set themselves up for success.
And now they spread out up tempo here on 3rd and 6 from the 46. Moore with a back to his right. More than likely, it's Hawkins. Back the pass. Got to take a shot down the field. Pass is caught. Holy mackerel. Dustin Singleton makes a diving catch. We'll see where they spot the football, but it's definitely in the red zone.
That was a magical catch, a spectacular catch by Singleton right there. Just incredible. Think we're going to go to a replay? No? Okay. I see.
All right, so it'll be 1st and goal, and they're trying to get the sticks all set up here. That was a gain of 30. That was a gain of 36 on the play. So it'll be 1st and goal. Actually, yeah, 1st and goal from the 10. It looks like. Back to passes more. He's going to lob one for the corner of the end zone, and all he found were a bunch of ghosts there, incomplete.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to that one. Really nowhere to go, and was already seeing a rush from the D-line, so just had to throw it away and start from scratch.
And that's also smart quarterback play, Dan, because if you once you're out of the pocket and that collapses, then you're able to throw it away, and as long as you get past the line of scrimmage, you're all good. So that's actually some smart play, and we have a timeout called by the Bengals here, so they'll use their second timeout. So your honest assessment as to what you've seen so far.
Well, this has been a very interesting kind of football. You know, whether you put it on a positive or negative scale is irrelevant. But what these guys have is a very concentrated skill set. These guys are based around a very hard-hitting, very on-the-nose style of play, and it's led to a lot of flags from a refereeing crew that is, very, very close to what they, what I believe to be the letter of the law. So, these guys are really just having an interesting combination tonight.
Here's a handoff to Hawkins trying to get around the middle again, cross the 5-yard line. I don't think he got in.
Yeah, that's short.
It's a little hard to see from that angle, but it'll definitely force a 3rd and goal coming up. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Mackley Hawkins has been able to fly around and find the open holes and just put a burst of speed whenever possible here. And that's thrown the defense of Arbutus a little bit off. And I think that's one of the objectives that the Bengals have wanted to do. And so far, it's working.
It has absolutely worked 100%.
So we'll have looks like 3rd and 5. Let's see what Moore does in a shotgun here. Back to pass. Now he's going to run it. He may take it himself, turns the corner, and he is in. Welcome to the end zone. Darnell Moore plows his way through and adds some more points for the Tri-State Bengals. A 3-score lead here in the second quarter, and I'll tell you what, the Bengals have done very well throwing the Big Red defense off for a loop, and it has been working tremendously.
I mean, a little bit of a hard hit and a little bit of yammering to boot. I mean, these guys are playing hard-nosed football, and it's especially included with the fact that, we saw the quarterback basically full sending it right into the end zone, and that was what got them on the board. So they extend their lead here and could bury the hatchet a little bit further and extend their lead even further with this conversion.
Almost like quarterbacks from 10 years ago just lowered his shoulder. And
like Vince Young.
You could say
Donovan McNabb. Yeah.
Maybe Cam Newton. I don't know if he was more like that, but he's more the athletic type. All right, so the 2-point conversion for Moore on a high snap. He's going to lob it, and the pass is knocked away incomplete. So the 2-pointer fails this time, and the Tri-State Bengals will settle for a 22-0 lead here in this. second quarter. So while we do this, while we get Dan to describe the replay, what led to that third score, that 36-yard reception by Dustin Singleton.
Yeah, Singleton, let's take a look at the replay here on the Mason-Dixon Football League replay board. We've got on the left side of your screen, or rather closer to the top of your screen, away from us, would be Dustin Singleton with Moore deep into the shotgun. Waiting for it here. There we go. And then he just finds himself wide open. And there's one fella in the safety, I believe that's 21, Joshua White. But Singleton came down with it, really didn't have a whole lot of traffic in his way, but was able to make a beautiful diving catch and bring that down for a huge gain for the Bengals.
And that was simply a fly pattern. He just went straight, and Moore was able to find him in stride. It was a beautiful pass. So on both ends, it worked out beautifully. And that set up Moore's touchdown run, which now makes it 22-0 in favor of the Bengals. And Arbutus, I think this is going to be a very important drive for them if they're going to try and stay in this game, try and get some points on the board.
They're definitely going to have to get some points on the board, but even if they don't, when they go into the tunnel for halftime break or, however they congregate, they are going to need to come up with a game plan to stop the Bengals at any means possible.
Well, they'll get the ball to start the second half, and now here is Arbutus trying to run the kickoff back, which it looks like Rodney Taylor that time was able to get to about the 35, maybe the 38-yard line there. So one thing for sure, if Arbutus is doing some positive stuff here, I truly believe that the special teams have been one of the bright spots, even though the offense and defense have kind of not lived up to the hype so far.
Yeah, I think this has been a little bit more lopsided than what we were going into this game with our media guides and everything like that with the current standings of these two clubs. But I mean, this is still, for second quarter standards, still early. I think that we've seen crazier comebacks before, Arbutus just not really having all of their ducks in a row. And if they're able to figure out a way to not only stop the Tri-State defense, but also find a way to get themselves in a good position on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to set them up for success one way or another. But they just have to get to that point before they can make progress.
Okay, so it is 1st and 10, and play went around the right side for a little bit of yardage. It'll be second down, and
all right, that's bad.
all right, so we just lost. We got it back here. It ends up being looks to be about a 7-yard gain on a second down now, and running the ball right to the midfield stripe. And Arbutus looking okay here, trying to speed the pace up. And Alfonso Litton was able to get to like the 49-yard line. Arbutus, knowing they're down 3 scores, they got to do something and do something fast. So they're really going up tempo here. You think it's 2 minutes left in the game, and it's a 1-score contest. Back to pass, throwing at the middle, a little bit high, incomplete. But they had the right idea. That was intended for Joshua Floyd, but just a little bit too high. And it forces a 2nd and 10. So right now, as we're looking at things at the moment, Arbutus is at least showing a little bit of life here on this particular drive. They were able to get a nice couple of running plays in, and now trying to get the passing game to complement that.
Yeah, right now I think that they're trying to save face a little bit. They are getting more up-tempo with how they play because they see the scoreboard. They know they're down 22, and they need to come up with a counter plan to deflect the Bengals. They need to just come up with their own kind of strategy.
We have an official timeout here.
On the box.
The referee pointing up at something along the Bengals bench. Might be a sideline warning potentially.
I'm not sure.
All right, so on second down, here comes a blind shot, and down he goes. The ball is loose.
Ball's loose still.
And it looks, I thought one of the Bengals had recovered it. We'll see what the officials say. But I'll tell you what, running like a madhouse was number 44, Tyreek Glenn, and he completely was able to flatten Haskins. As you can see us, yep. Father on the right, son on the left.
Well, I think that was pretty obvious. I don't.
One of us has to say hi, Mom, and that would have to be you. But anyway, the way we're looking at right now, it's been pretty much all the Bengals right now, and they've been doing pretty good as far as holding Arbutus at bay.
Yeah, I think that Arbutus right now is definitely having to go into a kind of safe mode where these guys, they know they're down. They know that they have to pick up the pace or else it's going to be too little too late. So they're definitely having to work with unusual circumstances to get to where they are now.
Well, it ended up being Arbutus falling on the fumble. So now, after a loss of 9, it is 2nd and 19 from the 42-yard, 3rd and 19 rather from the 42. After there was the incompletion first. Here's a throw to the left side, and the pass ends up going in the direction of Michael Corbett.
I believe he got it. Yeah,
I think he caught it. He got back to the original line. Oh, no, he didn't catch it.
That looked close to me. That could have gone either way.
Now, remember, in semi-pro leagues, it varies if you need 1 or 2 feet down.
Right.
So
now, do you know the case with this Mason-Dixon league? Do you know
we could compromise and say 1.5, but that would be too difficult.
2 or less.
So, but possession is also critical as well. So, it looks like a punt once again for Arbutus. But I'll tell you one thing, the play that kind of broke the drive up was the Tyreek Glenn sack and strip and almost recovery. So Arbutus back to punt, but whistles blow first.
Whistles aplenty?
Yep, and then another flag is down the near side of the field.
What else is new?
Yeah, they're haven't been for a lack of penalties, that's for sure. So trying to discuss things, I think the officials are going to have a little bit.
Okay,
there's a
are you kidding me? Wow.
Oh, 12 men on the defense, it looks like.
What do we have?
So penalties can be against.
What's that now?
Well, they're talking 12 minutes, matter of who had the 12th man.
5 on the D.
You're going to go 5?
5.
And they're going to call it on the Bengals. So
5 yards. Repeat 4th down.
And so following that 5-yard penalty, it makes the play a little more interesting here. And they got 4th and 14 as the ball is on the 47-yard line. And it looks like they are going to try and go for it here with Haskins. You're down 3 scores. You might as well try it. See what happens.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Good snap. Back to pass. Looking.
In trouble.
Oh, and he sneaks out. He laterals it. Now he can throw if you want.
Flea flicker. Here we go.
They're going to go for it, and it ends up being short and intercepted. Coming back the other way is Arnon Bird, and Bird will fly his way down. He gets knocked out of bounds. I'm not sure they're going to spot it, but they try. That was probably like a gadget play there. It just didn't work. The throw was just a little bit short by the compromising of the opposing 5, Alfonso Linton, and it was just a little bit short. They had the right idea. It just didn't quite work.
Yeah, that was like a Julian Edelman play right there, the flea flicker. I mean, it's something that you don't see every day, but sometimes you got to get a little experimental, got to get a little dangerous with it. And let's take a look at the Mason-Dixon replay here.
Proud to see probably Antoine Randall will probably be proud of this one.
Yeah,
at least the effort.
I was trying to remember Randall L's name, but believe Tomlinson's got a lot as well. But yeah, the quarterback Haskins just got in a lot of trouble, had to kind of let that go on the fly, and then threw it to the halfback, just couldn't get that ball far enough in the air, and it was picked off by Bird, and that's where Tri-State stands. But it looks like they're going to mark it around the 44, 43-ish.
Yeah, 43-yard line, and that was where Bird stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, although he ran it all the way up to the 10, so.
Yeah, but he stepped down, and then the whistles blew, and probably didn't realize he had stepped out at that point. All right, well, we have another official timeout, and
Stick girls. We got girls for the sticks.
they got to fix the sticks.
Them ladies doing the sticks today.
And then we got a couple
Parent rush.
personnel trying to get the sticks all set up here. So Moore back in command here, 1st and 10. Again, in Arbutus territory at the 43-yard line. See what he does this time. Moore will await the shotgun snap. Again, a spread. Back to the right. He'll grab and then call his own number. and bowls over one of the defenders and gets to the 40-yard line. So a 3-yard pickup there and forces 2nd and 7. And you know how Moore can be very dangerous. He's been pretty accurate with his passings. Now throwing a run-pass option in there and trying to go up the middle and using his power to get some more yardage.
Yeah, that's a lethal combo to have. I mean, the fact that he's an accurate passer and also can get the ball off his hands when he needs to, that is just a perfect combination for Moore to have and is partially the reason why the Bengals are up 22-zip.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 40-yard line. Again, Moore in the shotgun, and we see a lot of these spread formations here. Back to pass this time. Gonna zoom one, and a pass overthrown. I think, I'm willing to bet there might be a communication issue. It's intended for Jameer Robertson, but he was in double coverage that time, and evidently the timing was a little bit off there, so it forces a 3rd and 7.
Would have been a great opportunity for Arbutus to get back in the game if that was picked off, though. I mean, obviously, I think that you don't need to have a college degree to know that. Well, yeah, I'm saying you don't need to be all that football educated to know that throwing a ball in the double coverage doesn't exactly end well all the time. So, maybe that's not what they intended. Maybe that's not what they were going for. But, they'll recoup, they'll reset, and they'll see if they can get the play right on this next one.
Gotta commence high school first, Stan. So 3rd and 7 from the 40-yard line. They spread once again. Moore in the shotgun, a high snap. He juggles it. Will fire left a little bit high and incomplete. They went for number 14 that time, just a little bit off balance, and forces a 4th and 7. And considering that the Bengals do not have a kicker, they will probably go for it. I mean, at this point, you're up 22-0. I mean, I'm sure in some of their minds, they're probably thinking of the jugular at this point.
I mean, I don't know. I think that with where they're at in the game right now, yes, they could go for it, but I think, as I've said before several times on this broadcast, that you don't need to go all out up 22. If you kind of need to find a perfect balance. I mean, it's all about mediation. It's all about moderation. These guys don't need to, they don't need to step off the gas pedal, because if they do, things could easily swing the other way.
I hear on the empty gun on 4th down. That pass knocked away nicely. That was Donnell Carter who knocked it away. Would have been a 1st down if caught, and probably just as well he knocked it away for a field position issue.
Yeah.
So for the Bengals, they turn the ball over on downs, and they'll have the ball at the 40-yard line, and I guess we're going to check a replay out to see exactly what happened here, Dan.
Yeah, I think that this was actually kind of like a blessing in disguise, if you will. I mean, they threw the ball back up the middle. If it was picked off, maybe, just maybe, they would have gotten a worse field position than just swatting it away. I mean, you can see right here, it looked like he was trying to catch it, but just couldn't hang on to it and ended up working for them, maybe not in a way that they intended, but it ended up working out nonetheless.
Yeah, but I think Donnell Carter did a good job reading the route of 84, who was the intended receiver, and cut in just enough to break the pass out. I mean, if he intercepts it, I mean, he's probably tackled 20 yards further back, so that was actually an excellent play on his part from a field position standpoint. So now Arbutus, even though they're down 3 scores, are still hanging in there trying to get something going. As 1st and 10 now from their own 40-yard line. This time we'll see what Edward Haskins has in mind here. He's in between split backs this time. Back to pass. He's in trouble. Out he goes. He gets flattened by Kelvin Tejeda for a sack.
Just really had nowhere to go. No better way to put it. I mean, he just, looks like we got a down player here.
Yeah, there's an injured, there's a shaken up big red player. Not sure who it is, but
it's Haskins.
Wow, it is Haskins.
That's what I was saying. He went down, but he didn't get back up.
Well, I think also because you got a beefy linebacker, or beefy defensive end in Tejeda, who pretty much came down with all his weight on the quarterback, that it's going to happen, unfortunately. So while we grab a break here late in the 2nd quarter, right now Bengals up on Arbutus 22-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
Tyler.
breakfast.
Oh.
If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
There are a lot of different reasons why you should buckle your seatbelt when you're in your truck, like making it home safely to your loved ones, taking pride in your job as a professional driver, or following the law to stay safe. Always remember to buckle up when you're in your truck, and ask any passengers you might have riding with you to do the same. It doesn't matter how many years you've been trucking or how far you need to drive. Buckling up keeps everyone safe on the road. Learn more at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
All right, we're back here late in the second quarter. I'm not sure how much time is left here in the first half, but it is 22-0 Bengals over the Arbutus Big Red, who unfortunately had an unfortunate injury at Edward Haskins, the quarterback. He was shaken up on the last play. He's since been, I guess, taken off, and I guess he is standing up, and he was walking on his own power while we were on break. So that's at least a good sign. But I believe we are going to have another quarterback in for the time being, and we'll see who exactly it is in just a moment. And it looks like it will be Rodney Taylor who will be in at quarterback for this particular drive. He goes back to his shotgun. He's being chased again, and let's see what he can do. I mean, he sneaks through the line and gets back to the line of scrimmage. So he's able to gain the yards lost back. So he probably got about 4 on the play after losing 4 on the previous. So forces a 3rd and 10. And I think Arbutus is going to have to go back to the drawing board. By the way, for the Arbutus Big Red, they're led by head coach Yolander Giles, assisted by Jimmy Lewis. On defense, the head coach is Charles McGriff, and also defensive line coach Lee Anderson. Offense coordinator is Milton Hall. So now for the Big Red, they're being faced with a 3rd and 10, and we're going to see how things go from the 40-yard line. And I wouldn't try gadget plays. I would just try and just start from scratch. Just win a play, win a down, win a series, and get points. That's how it usually works, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think right now it's simple. It's simple football. Get the ball further down. Like I said, don't try to air the ball out. Hold the ball to the floor. Run the ball if you need to.
Well, here's a ball that got dropped on 3rd down, and a pass gets spiked down incomplete. Looked like 0 that time. We don't quite have a name, but I mean, that was Ed Tudor Jones effective there. Went to throw, and it was just rejected.
Yeah,
without using Dikembe Mutombo as a reference.
I was going to say that looked like an NBA block, not an NFL block, but that was very interesting. But I was also perplexed that the ball was called dead before anybody had possession of it. So we're going to see how this plays out here.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised they tried going for it on 4th down here because, I mean, you're down 22-0. Consider this, though. Arbutus will get the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and decided to choose to take the second half kickoff. The Bengals received to open the game, drove down the field, and pretty much been all Bengals ever since. But Arbutus at least has been able to slow the game down a little bit, and that has been a little bit to their advantage. So maybe, who knows? You're down 22-0, could line up a big comeback in the second half.
Yeah, and that's really dependent on how they, and I'm not obviously solely dependent, but partially dependent on how they approach their halftime break. If these guys,
Oh, that kick never got anywhere.
He whiffed on the punt.
He swung and missed, and the ball's going to end up being for the Bengals. It looked like it was just way too close when he tried to let it go and never was able to make it.
Yeah,
So a tough break there for the Big Red. I mean, they had a decent punt the second time, but this time just didn't quite work out. And sometimes it's just all in the technique.
And that technique just didn't work out.
I know. I had to throw a SpongeBob reference in there, but anyway.
I didn't pick it up.
So the Bengals will now have a chance to get some more points before the half is over. The ball is spotted at, they're going to spot the ball at the 35-yard line, it looks like.
Now you know what I have to deal with every day. Look, Danny, sure you don't want to stay and let him go home?
So the ball is at the 35, and we're going to see what Darnell Moore does here. Not going to be too much time left here until halftime, as they're going to go empty gun here. Back to passes Moore. He's under a rush. Gets
out of
sack. He will throw deep on the right side.
Oh, how about it?
Up being caught. Welcome to the end zone. And
Artemis is saying that wasn't a catch. That's 39. He's saying that the ball was trapped.
Well, there was really no signal, but now they're bringing the ball back, so I apologize for that. A premature touchdown call, and there's a flag down anyway back at the 41-yard line, so it may not have been for anything anyway.
Yeah, I mean, how about it? I mean, he made the catch in good, or he may have not made the catch for all it's worth, but
well, it would not have mattered anyway because a holding call has been made against the Bengals. So even
that always
though
seems to
that
happen
was
on
a
deep drives like
tremendous
that.
effort and a potential catch, didn't work out, wouldn't have mattered, and wouldn't have been any points anyway.
Yeah, that's just a deal of you have all this momentum going into one play, and it just ends up dealing with a hold. Sometimes you get a PI that brings you back, but sometimes the best touchdown catches ever made aren't meant to be.
Well, but they end up being an ESPN highlight reel, even if they don't count. All right, so after the holding penalty, it forces a 1st and 20 back at the 45-yard line. Looks like they're going to go empty gun again, and they're going to go heavy on the right this time. There was one game I saw that they went triple on both sides of the field, which meant they had 12 players on the offense. So, but not here in this case. So now 1st and 20, later stages of the first half, as Moore will take the snap. Looking, thinking, firing deep again, and this one is in the breadbasket and incomplete. Again, it went for number 14, the intended receiver. That was a little shorter than expected. And it looks like that will be the end of the first half. Dan, your thoughts?
Well, this has been a runaway train ever since the first, and we've seen a lot of times, the defense just on both sides of the ball either folds or holds on to their possession no matter what. These guys seem to be all in, hard-nosed football, a lot of hard hits, and what my main takeaway from this has been the flags. There have been so many flags back and forth, and I don't blame the refs because that's just how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to call it like it is, and the players are also having what it seems to be like, kind of a rough experience with a lot of false starts, a lot of offsides, and as we've seen, a lot of holdings. But right now, I think this score could be a lot different if it weren't for the flags. I mean, you saw the holding that took away a Tri-State touchdown. That might have been the silver lining, the saving grace for Arbutus. But now they have to go into the huddle, they have to go into the tunnel and rethink their game plan, try to come up with a solution to not only stop the Tri-State Bengals, but also capitalize on their offense enough to where that they can get some points on the board as well. Even if it's not as much as they would like, they need to get something on the board so that it's not a complete runaway.
Well, Dan, don't you have a graduation party to go to? This is my son's debut here on the HSG network, and I think he's done a fabulous job, at least calling what he's seen here between these two teams. Even though things got off to a little bit of a rocky start, he did a fantastic job, and you're going to see a lot more of him in the near future. So, Dan, my thanks for doing a heck of a job and doing good fill-in work, and keep it up. Hey, we're building up and going to be better from here.
And hey, I mean, this is good practice for me as well. My broadcast network, I don't mean to... I will.
Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Also on YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube. We're going to be starting off the season on August 25th with Cherry Hill East versus Triton, and then on August 31st, a Thursday night football with Haddon Township and Gateway. So if you're into South Jersey football, Central Jersey football, that's where you can find us. Thank you very much. I will be on the run. I believe Howard's going to take it over for the second half, someone who's a lot more experienced than me. But thank you very much for being so understanding for my debut, and we'll see you guys around.
And hopefully everything will be well. So halftime score, the Tri-State Bengals 22, the Arbutus Big Red nothing. Take a few minutes for a breather. We'll come back with the second half right after this. All right, we're back here in Voorhees, New Jersey, getting ready for the second half of Mason-Dixon football here on the HSG Network. Right now, the Tri-State Bengals, they've been dominant, had a great first half. They lead Arbutus by a count of 22-0. Still got another half to go. Arbutus, they have kind of had a very nice second quarter. They were able to right the ship a little bit. Now they got to get some points on the board. Of course, you heard my son Dan announce in the first half, but I'm Tom Wilkins, and now Howard Gaber joined me for the second half. And what have you seen in his first half today,
Domination.
Howard?
I see domination. I mean, the Bengals came in as advertised. They were good. We knew they were good, and they've shown us they're good. So nothing surprising here.
All right, well, Arbutus will get the ball to start the second half, and the second half kickoff is taken deep. And they've had a couple nice returns, and there's another nice one to about the 35-yard line.
Good tackle. Good tackle on the play.
And that's one thing. The 88, Eric Wright, was the one who returned it. And we'll see what Arbutus does. It just seems like there's been a lot of miscommunication amongst the Big Red in the way they've run their patterns here in the first half. It's also very possible that maybe the defense for the Bengals has really played a tremendous game, and their coaching staff has made the right calls at the right time, too.
Yeah, Tom, they have put it all together. I knew as average, I'm 4-0 team, they're going to be good. We knew that. And Mason-Dixon Football League, they've dominated. So this is a good building block for them, first-year team. They've got a lot of players that they're meshing in. So it's great for football, great for us tonight. People are watching. So make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Over 2,000 people have already joined the crew.
Yes, indeed.
Even with Tom, they're still subscribing. I don't know how, but they are. But great job, everybody.
Goodness. Yeah, it's one of those things, as they say. I mean, once you get down and just got to have fun with it and do the best you can. All right, so thankfully back in the game is Edward Haskins. He suffered a late first half injury, but he is back in. Now they're going to go empty gun here on 1st and 10. They're going to be a quick swing pass. It didn't swing.
Just a little incomplete.
Yeah,
James Lowe, the receiver on that one, Tom.
And the throw was towards him, but it was actually, I think it was rushed a little bit too.
Tom, he's under a heavy brush. It looks like the Patriots from freaking Thursday night. They had no time. So what do? They draft 3 offensive linemen, sign free agents. So in this league, you really can't do that. You have to play with what you have here. Plus, they also lost their starting quarterback. So, you got the deck stacked against you. But hey, so did San Francisco, right?
That's very true. Luckily, in Arbu's case, their starting quarterback is back in the game. And
must have got treatment on the sideline.
Yeah, Alfonso Linton is also, he was next to him, and now he might be checking out of the game for this next play, making sure everybody is
that's an illegal sub.
Correct.
We're not going to talk about that, Tom. Oh, here comes a defender. There was a hole on the defensive line. There we go.
That could very well be.
Kevin Tejeda in there.
And now whistles blow, and that might be related to these substitutions. So might be too much time because that's going to be an Arbutus. They're backing it up 5.
See if we get the call.
Offense delay a game, 5 yards, repeat second down.
Oh, Wilkies. It's great when stuff works,
Definitely
it took us a while
does.
for the audio to get going because we had a couple issues, using the newer board because we have so many inputs now. That's the thing. If we wanted to have a 3-man booth, we could have a 3-man booth now. But, it takes time to get stuff working.
We've done that before with older equipment like years past, but in this case, I mean, hey, get something a little bit simpler here. Now, on second down, here's a pass. That is caught and getting to about the 35. That was a hard, stiff hit. Rodney Taylor was one who caught it, ends up getting about 5. But that's about all. Be 3rd and long, and Arbutus again. Penalties have not been their friend today.
That was Khalil Troutman, who actually played quarterback for the Jackals for several games in the previous league. Special shout-out, now that I'm on the mic, I hope he's still awake. I don't know if he's taken a siesta yet. But Joey Pagan, who's not feeling 100% tonight, we want to give him a special shout-out. Get better, Joey. We're going to see you in Meriden, I hope. Do a little game up there for us and get better.
And that's where we'll be next Saturday here on HSG Network. Hopefully, Joey feels better soon as well. 3rd and 15.
Oh, they're saying so many moves.
Here we go again.
Let's see.
Of course, the Bengals are saying false start. But, of course, they're, I guess, practicing for future officiating.
Yeah, defense, yeah. Dead ball, defense in the zone, 5 yards. Repeat, third down.
It's obviously a neutral zone infraction, so I guess they were just trying to sell the call to the officials, and it didn't work.
You gotta sell the call. Gotta sell it, Tom, because if you don't, you're just going to keep getting them. So you may get the next one. You never know.
Well, that ended up being a big 5-yard penalty, so now you got 3rd and 3 from the 41. This is a big play here. And that's going to work for a first down to the 46-yard line. Now, that was a nice tackle by Amin Bird, who had that interception earlier, but good running on the part of the Big Red to move to 6.
James Lowe, wide receiver back there as a running back. Number 13.
Well, they have different positions listed for these players, and some of them have multiple offensive positions, like Michael Corbett's a wide receiver and a running back.
Some of them have 3. Yeah, wide receiver, running back, cornerback. Anyways, Tom, let's go. 1st and 10.
From the 46, they spread out back to the left.
Let's hear it.
I have a feeling that, speaking of Corbett, he might have moved on that last play, but we'll see what the officials say.
He's just going to move the ball himself.
Dead ball, full start, 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
All right. This is, Tom, just to let you know, this is a different microphone system we're using tonight. This is the Hollyland, so those of you that are watching at home, we used the Sennheiser last week, and it couldn't pick it up all the way out there. So this is a Highland. So it's doing pretty good. It's rated for 700 feet. However, we're going to get more of it, Tom. You're going to get to hear more of it.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Let's keep it going.
So basically a game of flag football being thrown into a regular football game. We'll see what this call's about.
Dead ball, defense in the zone, 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
Tom. So anyways, it's nice to hear the plays, Tom. It's nice to hear the calls so we're not making them up like we usually do.
Yeah, sometimes guesswork kind of becomes futile. So the last minute, we just went back 5 and then forward 5. We're just providing a new football dance step.
At least 3 or 4 times back in. This is like the Triad Outsiders.
Well, that's another story. First and 10 as there is a pass that's taken to about the 49-yard line. A short gain that time. And I'll say this much. The Bengals have been flying to the ball, especially that. And that was Corbett with the reception.
Khalil Carabello on the tackle there. Great play. Great play to stop it. Brings up 2nd down and long.
Now, 2nd and 7, so a 3-yard pickup after the do-si-do of the penalties. And I think what Arbutus has done, I mean, they got off to a very shaky start, but slowly it seems like they're getting their act together.
That's a long bus ride. That's a long bus ride from Maryland.
I mean, they're not
4
coming.
hours,
I
right?
mean, they're not coming from Elkton, Maryland. I think they're.
That's a 4-hour ride. I've been there. I've been to where they play. Back with the Spartans, Tom.
All right, Haskins back on second. Now he's going to take it himself.
The leg looks
Tiptoes,
good.
and he's still going on first down. He stayed in bounds and goes down to 36-yard line. So a little bit of a tippy toes along the far sideline. It's a 15-yard pickup.
Yeah, the leg didn't look bad on that one, Tom. He made it all the way down.
That's the best offensive play of the day for the Big Red, and they're finally starting to feel some confidence here.
Going up tempo, Tom. You get the first down, go up tempo. We've seen it.
And they did that a lot in the second quarter. No, we got flags down.
They were ready, though, for it yet.
And it's a false start, so that's going back at 5 yards.
Let's hear it.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
One of the umpires actually was given the false start signal.
The preliminary signal?
Pretty much. I mean, we see in the NFL when like judges come running to the official and they do a neutral zone infraction or a false start. I mean, that kind of gives it away right there. So after a 5-yard penalty, and unfortunately for Arbutus, they have had a lot of penalties that have really destroyed drives, and that's why they're still looking for their first points here. In the shotgun, looks like they're going to be tripling the right side. They're going to go with a handoff, trying to sweep around. There's another flag.
Go. What's that going to be,
39-yard line.
Give me your educated guess.
Well, consider where it's being thrown. And usually that's a hole, and that's exactly what it's
99.
See, we got a number.
Take him back.
That's our Pete.
10 yards, repeat first down.
So unfortunately for Arbutus, they've been hit with a lot of holding penalties, unfortunately.
It's been very choppy, Tom. I mean, from what I've seen and from what I've watched, that's why that first quarter was so long, because you had so many penalties and so many incompletes. It just just adds time to it. But you can't get your offense going, Tom. You're going 5 yards up, 5 yards back, 5 yards back, 5 yards back. It just keeps going. So
now they're all the way back to the 49-yard line, and they're faced with a 1st and 23. Not exactly a position Arbutus wanted to be in. You got to consider that the hold was a little bit further past the line of scrimmage, and that's why he went 10 yards from a little further downfield. Here's Haskins throwing off his back foot.
Oh, good catch.
And a nice catch. Is it a catch?
Did he hold it?
No, incomplete.
He's saying he did not hold it.
Now, that was a close one. That was intended for Kevin Brown, and it looked like as he got jarred, he lost possession of the ball, and that's where the incompletion happened.
Yep. He did not come down with the ball. You got to complete the catch, and he did not. He dropped it. So it happens. He also got it jarred out by the defender, which helps. When you get hit by a defender. So he's they try again, come back with something else here. They're moving the ball, though, at least, Tom, it looks on offense a little bit here.
And that is at least a good sign for Arbutus. Obviously, their coaching staff has found some things to adjust with, and although first half didn't work out well for them, maybe the second half will, and we could have a ball game here. They'll triple the left side in a 4-receiver set. 2nd and 23 as Haskins goes back. He's being chased. He lobs one. And Arbutus screaming for pass interference and not getting it. Oh, wait a minute. Number 7 was the intended receiver, Joshua Floyd. And I don't know if he's picked up a flag or something.
That's a rag on the field, Tom. Good try, though. That's a green rag. That's part of the field, I think. It's a newer turf, but it's got some spots. So.
Well, they ruled it incomplete, and obviously Arbutus wanted a call, and they did not get it.
They're not getting that call. Well, it's just not going to happen. There you go. Let's move on. It's a good pass, though, right?
Yeah, it was a good pass,
Yeah.
and I mean, sometimes you kind of get deceived a little bit by how things are on the replay and stuff, and you think in the moment that's going to happen, but did not. So now 3rd and 23 comes up, and we'll see how Arbutus lines up. Right now, Haskins making sure he's got the right personnel here. They're going to spread. Linton again next to him on the right side this time.
Sidecar right.
Good snap. Oh, they're coming.
Oh, they're going to the sidecar.
Screen.
He's got some wheels, Tom, moving over there.
He does, but so do the Bengals defense, not forcing too much.
Alfonso Linton, Tom. That was number 5.
Yes, and he's the normal running back. He took the quick screen pass and got 5 out of it, but it's going to be 4th and long. So you're still in the 3rd quarter, but it's a 3-score game, and I'm sure you want to try and go for it.
Tom, they don't. From what I've seen from their punting team, it's not a good sign. So the last one went about a half a yard negative.
Well, so we've had a pop-up go straight in the air. We had a little bit of a better punt the second time. The third time was a complete swing and a miss.
Yeah, you can do less punting. You can do less going for it than you can make it, doing a punt. So that's what they're doing. They're going to go for it. I guess unless they're, backed up deep in their own zone. But this is, you're in positive territory, so why not?
I gave them 6, so you're looking at 4th and 17. The line gains to 26.
Maybe get an interception on a deep ball. It's just as good as a punt.
Well, we'll soon find out. Haskins back. He's got some time now. Late rush and a deep throw, and he throws it wide, incomplete. Looked like they went in the direction of Rodney Taylor, and it just didn't work out. I'll tell you what, the guy has an arm. The problem is the accuracy just has not been there, or the routes just have not been run well.
Yeah, that was Khalil again. Khalil Trapman on the coverage there, number 9. Playing it back a little bit. You're going to give him the coverage because it's 17 yards. I mean, that's a long way to get. So, good coverage, good play, turnover on downs. Start your offense. Here we go.
And the Bengals will end up getting the ball for the first time in the second half. Remember, they scored in the first 2 drives. And we're able to make both 2-point conversions.
Here come the sticks. That was the stick signal. Let's go, girls.
It's like
young ladies doing the sticks, which is a great thing to have. You just make sure they know to drop them and get out of the way if it's coming their way. That's all.
That's exactly right. And also more urgency to make sure they're set. And I think that's one thing. I mean, when you're called into the line of duty, sometimes you may not know these things and not know how urgent things are.
They'll get there. We got time.
Hey. Oh, now we have a near collision here on first down as Moore is going to end up throwing the ball over to the sideline, incomplete.
Almost in our kitchen on that one.
That could have been disaster for Moore, but he was out of the pocket and was able to launch one to the bench, so it's a smart play. And it went past the line of scrimmage, so it's just an incomplete pass.
And he almost hit our camera guy up on the porch to the right of us. Craig made a move for the ball for that one.
The way the place is set up, there's a porch that's to the right of the booth here, and that's where we're getting the filming from near the midfield stripe. So we're calling like maybe 10 yards to the left of that.
Beautiful picture, though. Everybody's watching at home. Beautiful picture.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line. It's more, well, I don't think we're going to have a play.
Let's see what we get.
Yeah, it looked like the left side of the line moved, but we'll see what the officials say here. And based upon the far side umpire, that's a false start.
Let's get the early indications.
Well, you have to kind of look at everything.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
So, we hear a lot of comments about our referee for tonight. We hear a lot of negative comments, but, he's been spot on, Tom. Every call he's been spot on tonight.
And like I said while my son Dan was here joining me for the first half, I mean, there were a lot of penalties called, but remember, officiating crews differ. Sometimes they'll let you play. Other times they'll catch every little thing, and sometimes you're going to have that. But obviously when people move before the ball snapped, I mean, you have to call that every single time. So forces 2nd and 15. Coming on a blitz here. The handoff. And good job by the Big Red stopping him for about a yard loss on the play. Mackley Hawkins was able to get around the right side, but he ends up losing a yard more and forces 3rd and 16. I think the Big Red have been playing much better, especially since the early part of the second quarter.
Yes, and he had a little help from Walter Perry there. That was Malky Hawkins on the run. Another Hawkins on the run, Malky. So, you gotta get some yardage here. I just want to reach out. Anybody wants to comment, guys? We've got 31 people watching right now. You want to comment? Please put a comment up there. Maybe we'll put it on the screen for you. So feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe.
All right, and we'll have 3rd and 15 now from the 39-yard line.
This is our first Mason-Dixon League game, but we may be doing more.
Back goes Moore. And speaking of Moore, the pass is caught nicely into Big Red territory at the 45-yard line. That's going to be a first down. Another great catch by Nadir Smith, who already has a touchdown reception.
Oh, yeah. He's an all-star. He's an all-star receiver. We've seen him in different leagues playing. He's a dynamic catcher out there.
And he used his hands very well to make sure he was able to give possession there. Ends up being a 16-yard pickup. Chains are moved. It's 1st and 10 at the Big Red 45-yard line, it's looking like.
Yeah, there it is. I can see the ball.
Ball's right on that stripe.
So, Tom, this is just another league we're entering in. We've never done Mason-Dixon Football League. You can see on the bottom right corner their logo's there. More games. We get invited everywhere, Tom. Next weekend we'll be in Connecticut. The weekend after we may be at Hillsborough. After Labor Day, we just keep going.
This is definitely a lot of fun. Football is indeed back. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line as Moore waits a shotgun snap. Play fakes, and now he's going to throw one. That pass is caught. Slipping through one tackle, but not there was a bunch of Big Red players just throwing him back. Now they blow the whistle.
Jameer Robinson on that catch, Tom.
Robinson grabbed it. Not going to get a first down. They're going to give him the 38-yard line.
Right.
So a 7-yard pickup.
And this is where, the referees blow the whistle quick. Pete's on top of it. They're making sure, you get a little bit of chatter there. You get a little bit. But, you want to keep it under control here.
And that's what makes a league successful, making sure all the players know what to do and not cause a scene. I mean, that's how successful you get with leagues and games and good competition and excellent sportsmanship to go along with that. because that's what it's all about. Because remember, these players, they play for the love of the game. It's not a 5-year, $200 million contract for anybody.
No, not even for us.
That's true. Well, although we wish, but
although Tom thinks he is talent, but he is.
Well, I'm not worried about the money. But anyway, on 2nd and 3, the ball's at the 38-yard line. They're going to be switching spots here. Moore in the shotgun. Grabs the snap. There's a handoff the middle. That'll be, well, look to be a first down first, but then second effort will get him there at about the 32-yard line. Again, Hawkins with the carry, and now move the sticks.
Yep, Mackley on a great carry. Inside handoff, a couple blocks here and there. Good line play. That's what we're seeing out of the Bengals is their line is dominating the offensive line and as well as the defensive line, and that makes your day miserable if you're on the other team.
And if you're able to dominate the lines, Howard, you have a great chance to win the game.
Yep.
So now the ball's at the 33, they'll say, after a 5-yard pickup. 1st and 10. As Moore waits the shotgun snap. Goes back, looking. He's going to take that home run shot.
Oh.
And it's knocked away incomplete.
Just a bit.
I mean, the throw had a little bit too much air, which allowed the defender to get under and knock it away.
That's 84 is Robert Sims. Robert Sims. I was given a note inside the chat. So 84.
Oh, okay.
There you go. See, Tom, I even can pick those things up when
I don't have a screen in front of me.
When the Titanic is sinking, I can even look on my right and left. And I can actually see some things. So that's what I was told. It's Robert Sims. Well, there's no 81 out there, so it's got to be him.
Well, anyway, it's 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. And like I said, this is the Bengals' opening drive of the second half. If anything, their running is taking a little bit of time off the clock.
Yeah, it kills some clock and moves the ball downfield.
Obviously, you're not going to be seeing too many variations of how they're set because it's been spread pretty much most of the game here for the Bengals as Moore takes a shotgun snap.
Looking deep.
And again looking deep in a triple coverage, and he almost had it.
Nadir.
He almost had it. Nadir Smith, almost his second touchdown. He lost his helmet at the end of the play, but it ends up being incomplete. But I'll tell you, that Moore does have some arm there.
Yeah, and he's got a nice touch. He drops that right in the bucket, and unless he doesn't hit the ground, he catches that. If he catches that in stride, it's a touchdown. But again, this is all things they're working out now for when the playoffs come up and when other teams are playing them. Because this is a team that's on the move. They've already been accepted, Tom, into the den in the spring.
Oh, that should be fun.
So we'll be seeing them a few times in the spring.
Well, it'll definitely be a lot of fun when that time comes in 2024.
Special shout out, Sean Slippy Mensa, if you're watching. Sean, give us a thumbs up, give us something. Give us a comment saying you're watching. Anyways, back to the game, Tom.
Anyway, 3rd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Moore in the shotgun. Once again, a spread. This time back to the left. Moore will take it.
Boy,
Another deep ball, and that pass a little bit wide. It ends up being caught, but unfortunately about 10 yards out of bounds, incomplete.
Yep, it was a good try. A little juggle there, but just a tad bit outside, Tom.
A slight bit. Again, it was intended for Robinson. Just couldn't come up with it, so they'll force 4th down. So 3 consecutive incompletions, which I know you want to try and get the home run ball, make sure you extend your lead so you're a lot more comfortable in preparations of winning the game. But you also got to be a little bit more time manageable too.
Yeah, and you're throwing the ball, so these are incompletes, which stop the clock. If we know they stop the clock, they may reset it once they bring it back in bounds and put it on. That's a college rule. Is where they put it at center, they restart the clock. So, but I haven't seen Pete wind anything or give any signals for winding. So we'll see.
Well, they're going to go for it on 4th and 10 from the 33 as Moore looks a shotgun snap over. Center looks back at Moore, making sure everyone's lined up properly. And now waiting to snap. It's a high one. Going back.
He's got time.
He throws, and it's just a little bit high, incomplete.
Nadir thinks he should have had that. Definitely thinks he should have had that.
Yeah, and Nadir's had a couple of good attempts, and he's like, man, how come I can't get that one?
Come on.
Well, listen, some things just don't work out sometimes.
Right.
So for the Bengals, they turn the ball over on downs. It's actually a break for the Big Red because they'll get the ball at the 33-yard line.
Great player, though, Tom Nadir. We've seen him all year. We've seen him in couple times in the den, and now he's continuing his journey here. And I think we're in the third quarter, Tom.
Actually, that would be
fourth quarter.
You're right.
Sorry.
We're heading we're done three-quarter time here. So the Bengals lead the Big Red 22-0. Arbutus to get the ball to begin the final quarter right after this.
In an industry where on-time service is of the utmost importance, More Trucking, established in 2019, maintains its reputation as an expert in the fields of freight consolidation, warehousing, and general logistical solutions for distributors and e-commerce professionals throughout the area. Our courteous services are delivered with each driver being an owner-operator. Contact us at 267-576-8954 for more information and rates.
Back here in Voorhees, New Jersey, beginning the final quarter of this one between the Arbutus Big Red and the Tri-State Bengals. Bengals raced out to a 22-0 lead, and that's where we've been. I'm Tom Wilkins with Howard Gaber taking care of controls here. And on 1st and 10, how about this?
Snap.
They're going with the direct snap that was juggled, and it ends up going for about a 2-yard pickup. James Lowe was the one who batted it, and now we got a little pushing and shoving. They got to be very careful with that.
Yeah, you want to be great. You want to be great out there, make the stop. But, once he's done forward progress and the whistle blows, that's enough.
I mean, obviously you want to get back, and of course, in Arbutus's case, they want to line up and run up tempo and try and score. They need 3 of them, and they need to make 2 of their 3 2-point conversions in the process to catch up.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot, Tom, especially in just one quarter. And they haven't left up any point. Bengals defense hasn't left up a point, and I don't know if they even let them come over the other side of the field. Too many times.
Well, they did that one time, and then, of course, you had the holding penalty that kind of threw things off in the last drive. So let's see what Edward Haskins does now in 2nd and 8 from the 35-yard line. He'll take the traditional snap, and the throw ends up one-hopping incomplete in the direction of Joshua Floyd. And I'm willing to bet maybe it's just a release point. He's waiting a little bit too late, and that's why it's angling down.
Yeah, and he's not stepping into the throw. He's just chucking it because he's under pressure. When you're under heavy pressure, you're going to chuck the ball.
And that's happened a lot today with the Bengals defense. They have put pressure on him, and no wonder things have gone awry so much.
Yep, and that's the Bengals. Their defense is top notch. It's pitching a shutout right now, like the Phillies. No. Anyway,
well, I'm not looking at my phone for that. But
good for Tom. He's staying focused. 3rd down, Tom.
Anyway, 3rd and 8 from the 35-yard line. Probably a very important play for the Big Red here. They spread out. This time they got Kevin Brown to the left of Haskins, and he will await the shotgun snap. Takes it back, looking, and he's going to throw a real deep one, double coverage.
Oh, it's
Pass
caught, Tom.
is out of bounds, I believe. I couldn't tell, but then when I saw those broken lines, that's the sideline there. And that was basically the back of the boundary line. But that was a good try.
Oh, my
It was just a little bit wide. Ends up going incomplete.
I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, he's got a catch. And then you look, and there's a double white line. So he's on the other side.
Yeah, he's like literally 5 feet out of bounds. So
made a good catch, though, Tom.
Yeah.
In coverage.
And a good effort, too. In the Canadian Football League, that might be a catch.
Might be. Maybe that. I think that's for lacrosse. I think those are either lacrosse or soccer. It's a multi-use field here.
That's correct. I think it is soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, they have the corner kicks. So it's soccer. The yellow line's soccer.
All right, so they'll try one more time. 4th and 8 from the 35 as Haskins takes the snap, looking. Let's see what he does. He'll bounce left. And then he dropped the ball. He's got to recover, and then he has to fall down on it way back at about the 22-yard line.
Kevin Ross in on that tackle. That's a huge. We'll call that a sack, fumble recovery. So you got to give him a sack because it looked like they were definitely in a passing formation. So even though he lost the ball, it's still a sack. But you lose the ball, and that was what, 4th down, Tom?
Yes,
so first down the other way.
And to make matters worse, in order to advance the ball, he would have had to recover it anyway. But by that time, he was just smothered by the Bengals defense, who have done a wonderful job just backing up the Big Red.
Yeah, a lot of players out there Let's see if we can get a couple. Number 12 is Larry Spans out there. 13, Malcolm Moore. 17, Taekwon Dixon. 5 we've talked about a few times. 00 we don't have, but we know who. We'll figure that out. But again, great job, Tom.
And we'll mention the coaching staff in a moment for the Bengals. We didn't quite get to that yet, but let's get this play in from the 22-yard line. 1st and 10. Bengals looking to put this game away here. It's a pitch out, and he dropped the ball, and it's going to be recovered by the Big Red at about the 27-yard line.
A little bit of shenanigans out there.
First big mistake made by the Bengals in this game, and I think that might have been recovered by Asante Tate, where the ball bounced right into his hands, and the Big Red get the ball back. But before I forget, Howard, the Bengals led, of course, and it doesn't really say anything about head coach, but offense coordinator is Jim Galante. The defensive coordinators are Ben Landy and Bill Daughtry, and the special teams coach, Tim Moore. You might see on the backs of the coaches, you'll see Coach Bill in the black, and then there's got Coach Jim wearing a white shirt. So easily identifiable there.
Yes, there's 4 owners. I think there's either 4 or 5. I think it's 4 owners, and they're equal owners, all 4 of them. So that's why you don't have a head coach. You have 4 different owners. So some are offense, some are defense, some are special teams, but they share the load, which is nice. You know, it sets you up well, because if someone's not here or if someone's on vacation, which usually happens in the summer, you have a backup person that knows what they're doing out there.
And that's very key, because as long as everybody's on the same page, there gives your consistency and efficiency within your franchise.
I just talked to their head man. If this stuff continues, the game is over. They're starting to get. So you talk to them. If they won't listen to you, that's it. We don't want to fight. I don't want to throw guys out before playoffs. Okay? Yeah.
Interesting.
How's that, Tom?
That sometimes timing can really bring us some interesting bites, and the head referee's like, we need to settle this down or we're done.
Yeah, pretty much. And we've seen it. We've seen it where they've ended games, Tom. You know, we've both watched.
In the third quarter, even.
Yeah, we watched Phil Harding do it. We watched referees do it. He's just laying a law saying, hey, guys, enough of the shenanigans. It's enough. Play the game. You got a 4th quarter. Just get it done.
Yeah,
no one's taking timeouts here.
And one of the head coaches talking to the Bengals players saying enough is enough, and the officials now
There we go.
talking to the Big Red players saying enough. This continues. We're done.
There you go.
So, I mean, and
that's why we have the field mic, Tom. That's why we have it, so you can hear that.
And this is an aspect of football you don't necessarily hear, especially in the semi-pro part of it.
Or minor league.
Well, however,
we try to stay away from that SP word.
Yeah, that's a little bit definable. I mean, people have different definitions for it, but still, it's football. Depends on what level it is.
Amateur. It's amateur football. Easily. So
right.
here we go. Single back.
And Haskins on 1st and 10, and
play
they're going to go to play action play. That was a well-designed play, except Rodney Taylor could not haul in the short pass. It was just a little bit offline. Ends up being incomplete.
Yeah, it was a nice play action. We haven't seen too many of those, and he had a couple people. He had a couple people on the tailgate there going with him. So it's set up to succeed, but you got to complete the pass.
That'll make it 2nd and 10. Ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. Big Red have had the ball most of this second half, but they've gotten a couple of first downs, but the Bengals defense has done rather well, but they're back on the field unexpectedly because of a turnover, which we haven't seen too many mistakes on the part of the Bengals here in this game, and that's why they're ahead the way they are.
I'm going to give 44 a shout-out, Tyreek Glenn.
And here's a handoff this time, and diving his way to about the 29-yard line, Rodney Taylor.
Townsend, Tom. Dominic Townsend on the tackle.
Another legendary
I knew you would say that, Tom. That's why I said his name.
I mean, I'm recognizing, and there looks to be a Arbutus player that's shaken up at the end of the play.
Yes.
So, but you mentioned we got the Cheeseborough, Rafi Cheeseborough playing on the Bengals side. We mentioned a lot of names, a lot of different teams.
John Inge is one of the running backs, 26. I don't know if we've seen him tonight, but Tamaja Blair, Jaleel Love, Tom. These are all guys that we've seen in other leagues that enjoy the game and just want to go out there and have some fun on a Saturday night. And that's what get live streamed by the HSG network. Why not?
You are not kidding there. Well, it looks like the player was shaken up, but gets up on his own power, so that's good news.
Yep. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 9, just about, Tom.
Yeah, 3rd and 8, they're going to say, from the 28-yard line. So this is going to be a play here to see what the Big Red can do. It's obviously 4-down territory here, down 3 scores.
Right. Now let's see what defense they come out with. Let's see the front. You can see it on your screen there. You can see the front. You can see where the D-backs are. And we'll see what they do. It looks like the Coach Bill's coming off the field.
Now, I'm guessing in this league, the coaches are allowed to come on the field like after each play.
For an injury.
Oh, for an injury. Okay.
Yeah, that was the injury timeout. No, they're not allowed on the field, Tom. This is not Pop Warner anymore. To stay off.
All right, so 3rd and 8 from the 28-yard line. Edward Haskins taking the shotgun snap, and they're going to go with an inside run, crossing the 30, and he's going to get first down. Nicely done. That's Brian Chapman, who gets to about the 37-yard line, gets a 9-yard pickup, and they move to 6.
Good play. Keeps the drive going, Tom. That's all they're doing is keeping the drive going.
And even though it might be a long drive for them, and things don't work out for them at the end, they want to end with something positive. That's really the key here. Now on 1st down, Haskins way back to pass. Pass ends up being caught, a hard hit, the 42-yard line. And you spoke about Dominic Townsend because he came in like a missile that time.
That was a mean beard, though. That was 5 coming in, Tom. He had it scrunched. It was a scrunched
mean
number.
bird, rather. I'm sorry.
It was a mean bird coming in. He was a mean bird coming in there. But, he stuffed him. But still, it's completion. You're getting positive yardages out of this, which is what you want to do is move the ball down the field.
And that's what he did. It was a hard-earned 5 yards, but it's 2nd and 5 now from the 42-yard line. We'll see what the Big Red do as they line things up. Haskins in the shotgun. They spread out. Back to the left. Takes a snap. Looking. He's being chased, and he is going to be just avalanched down
for
a sack. 0 that time. Now, there is a 0 named Reem Smith, but he's listed as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's a quarterback. That wasn't him. But we'll give it to 18. 18 was there, Kevin Ross. I think that's his second. He had the fumble sack back there, so... he's having a good night. The defense is having a great night. When you don't give up any points, you got to go back and you got to say it's a great night. Keep it going. You're in the 4th quarter. Keep playing hard. The problem is that the Arbus Big Red drove 4 hours, Tom. 4 hours in a bus, probably with plenty of Hennessy in there. And they're not having you got to get a score. You got to get 1 score to go home. You got to put something on the board before you go home.
So we say
Hennessy. Taste is good.
Well, let's just say trying to hatch the goose egg.
Yes, trying to hatch the goose egg here. Just get something. Field goal, safety, anything.
Well, it ends up it's a 9-yard loss, so you're looking right now at a 3rd and 15.
You're off the field.
Ball's
off the
33-yard line, and somebody. What's going on here? The referee's saying getting somebody off the field.
Yeah, they're chattering back and forth, so he just removed number 7.
Joshua Floyd, so they're setting him off and getting somebody to replace him.
He's going to get somebody out there for a down. That's all he's doing is he's telling them.
Here we go.
See, he's like, let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure the officials want to get out of here as well.
Pete is very, very proactive when it comes to the chattering and the crap on the field. He's not going to stand for it. And that's what guys don't like. They like to be able to chatter and talk back and forth, but some refs let you, some refs don't.
All right, so on 3rd down, it looks like a lateral play, and they're trying to do a halfback option.
Here comes a block.
Didn't work.
No.
Now it's going to be a run. It's going to be for some positive yards, but not too many, as the Bengals came flying for only a 2-yard pickup.
That's Benji Smith. And
looked like it was number 9 in there.
Yes, it was.
That would be Khalil Troutman.
Yeah, Khalil's got a few tackles. These guys, they're going to love their stats tonight. A lot of TFLs, a lot of tackles for losses.
And Rodney Taylor was the one who just came around. He was going to try and throw a halfback option. Nobody was open, so he reversed gears. So in essence, he ran about 35, 40 yards, only to get 2 on the positive side.
It looked like the pass, though. It was an option pass, Tom. It just wasn't open.
And there was no option, unfortunately.
No, and that might have been why Floyd was over there. That's might have been why he was saying something, but they took him out. So whoever was over there didn't run the same route.
That's very true. And sometimes being sent off the field for a play may also affect how they run the play, given the personnel on the field.
They shut him down too. I heard him.
So it'll be 4th and 13, the ball at the 35-yard line. Now, to the Big Reds' credit, they've had more plays in this half that have actually worked out for them. I mean, the first half was a nightmare considering in between 2 plays in, there was an interception for them on offense, and in between they allowed 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions and have not been able to recover since then. Let's see what happens on this 4th and 13 play as Haskins in the shotgun set, back to the left, and of course, they're spread out here. Back to pass, gonna lob one, and
caught.
somebody falls down, and the pass is caught, and that, I think, might be a first down.
That's number 4,
Michael Corbett.
Yeah, Michael Corbett for the. Wait,
What do you got?
We're coming back.
Oh, wait, we got a flag down. I saw the umpire pick it up, and, I mean, that has been the nemesis of the Big Red all day if it is on them. And even one of the other officials is just saying, bring it back.
Yeah.
Incomplete pass.
Yeah, so what?
Oh, now it's an incomplete pass.
Holding on the offense is declined. First down.
So it ends up being an incomplete pass.
Just to catch it.
Oh,
I
that's
got
been a tough break
550.
for Arbitus all day. If it was complete, they would have redone 4th down. But because it's incomplete, obviously the Bengals refuse the penalty, and they will get the ball back on downs.
So Tom, give me your star for our Bengal team here.
You know, that you could say it's a little bit of a tough question there, but I think Darnell Moore has done a great job today. I mean, he's run for a touchdown, he's thrown for a touchdown. I forget who had the first touchdown, and he may have run it in himself. So I would have to say give it to Darnell Moore right now.
All right, look at that. How about on defense, Tom?
On defense, boy, good question.
I'm thinking 5. I'm thinking Amin
Bird did have that interception. Remember, there have been 2 interceptions the defense caused, but Amin Bird's was a good one considering it was kind of like an option gadget play, and it was just thrown a little bit short, and he was able to go down the far sideline. Now, Moore is going to fire one. Oh, that is a beautiful catch. At about the 16-yard line.
Number 4, Tom.
Miles Wallace gang in the game for that one. Now I'm just checking the field.
We got a flag in the backfield.
Oh, there is a flag in the backfield. Oh, yeah, it's right by the foot of Moore at the 38-yard line.
No. Yeah, 15 minutes. That's after the play, right? No, it's not after the play.
We'll see what this is all about.
Personal foul.
Foul live ball. Live ball.
They're calling it live ball. They're calling it live ball.
Okay.
Personal foul.
It's a live ball?
Live ball foul. We're going back 15.
Personal foul. Offense, 15 yards. Replay the down.
Wow. So they called a personal foul. Might have been for a blindside block.
Could have been for a block.
And Coach Jim not really
Coach
too
Jim is
pleased.
not happy
I mean,
out
that was
there.
a great catch on the part of Wallace, but that's taken
Jim
away.
Galante. That's Coach Jim Galante out there. So
And back they go, 15 yards. One of the few mistakes that this Tri-State Bengals team has made today. But, I mean, you're up 22-0. You kind of lose that razor-sharp focus you had for 2.5 quarters. That might have led to something like that. And now we're seeing possibly that might be the case, saying, okay, we got this in the bag. But, hey, we don't have it in the bag yet. This game's not over.
Right. Well, you still got to play it. Still got to play it out.
All right, they're going to go empty gun here, and they're going to go heavy on the near side. It's going to have 1st and 25 back at the 49-yard line. Let's see what Moore does. He'll take, they're coming, and another deep ball.
Oh!
And it's batted and incomplete. And they went from Nadir Smith again.
Yeah.
But good coverage that time. On the other side of things, that was Asante Tate. And give him credit, he's had a very nice game.
Yes, as many passes as they've thrown, they've still defended. They still continue to defend the pass, which is, on defense, what you want to do. You want to prevent some of these, but it's great play for the defense.
I mean, the Big Red really stabilized right before halftime, and they've played much better football. But obviously, like I said, they dug themselves a very big hole in the first quarter plus, giving up those 3 scores. But there's still a little time left. We'll see how things play out in a second. And
still
25
5 wide, Tom, empty.
Yep, empty gun. And again, the left side gets the heavier focus here. Here's Moore.
Shake and bake.
and throw up the middle. It's incomplete. And again, they went towards a Wallace.
That was DeJuan Vaughn got the hand in there to knock that out of there.
Dustin Singleton saying, how come there isn't a flag? you're up 22-0. What are you complaining about?
You want them all. You want them all. You don't change the calls with the score. You do it the right way. So, but anyways, third down.
Yep, 3rd and 25.
A lot of passing, Tom.
Yeah, a lot of passing, especially
both sides. You would think that the Bengals would run the ball
and they might. They might on 3rd down. I mean, why not? I mean, you want to win the game. And you want to make sure you get down as close to 0 as possible here.
Yeah, single back again. Offset.
Well, we'll see what he does. And it's a pitch out.
Oh, boy, he's way back there.
Swinging around and trying to he reverses gear. We got another flag, though.
That's going to be
you talk about spinning around all the way down to 42-yard line. He's going to be dizzy after that one. And the sad thing is, it's probably coming back because of a hold.
Yeah, let's see when we get.
Jameer Robinson.
Holding on the offense.
45.
We'll see what the official says. They're still discussing.
Previous spot.
Yeah, when he says previous spot,
Holding previous
that's a
spot.
penalty.
Yeah. We've
Previous spot.
what's funny is they've gotten rid of the spot foul in high school for holding this year.
Previous spot.
Yes, because they said it was a drive killer. Well, it was a drive killer. You get a holding from the spot, you're back 20 yards.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
I'm actually a little surprised by that because, I mean, if it's down to field, there's a hold. Yes, exactly. But if it's at the line of scrimmage or behind it, it's got to be 10 yards from the previous spot, just like they would the NFL.
Right. It's 10 yards from the previous. But they were doing it where if the hold was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, they were going from that spot 10 yards back.
That's not, I don't think that's fair.
So that was a 20-yard penalty, some of that.
And suddenly, it's worse than a personal foul. So then all of a sudden you got 1st and 30, and you're like, what the heck's going on?
So, it took them a little while, but they've now eliminated that. So it's now just a line of scrimmage foul.
Well, at the very least, you can say, where's T.Y. Hilton where you need him? But anyway, here we go on be another long play, 3rd and 35, but back in their own territory at the 41-yard line. Here's more.
Oh, a little play
he thinks the play fake, and he might run.
There, Tom. He's got to get a block.
Well, he does. Midfield, 40, the 30, and down to about the 26.
Tom. That's a first.
Did he just get a first down on a 3rd and 35?
I believe he did, Tom. I hear it.
Say the 23-yard line. Holy mackerel.
It was a good run. It was a straight draw. And everybody dropped back in coverage. So when you drop back in coverage on a draw, guess what? The whole field's open to you. So he's going to need oxygen after that play. Take a break.
Tell that to number 3 was spinning like 5 or 6 times, and that got called back.
Got a great block, though. Got a great block by 50. I think it was 56, 54. Free to open that sideline.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, Tom. 2-minute warning.
Dave Perry would be number 54.
Just got the 2-minute warning from Pete. So
okay, so obviously we're coming down to the final stages of this one. And it has gone the Bengals' way today, that's for sure. And literally from the opening drive. So they'll continue with the empty gun. This time they go heavy on the right. On 1st and 10, here is Moore back and take a shot.
Oh.
And that ends up being intercepted. So after a 36-yard run, you're going to throw a pass. It ends up being picked off by Donnell Carter, who also has had a very nice game, especially second half.
Tom, the score is not indicative of the gameplay. That's you've heard that a lot, where it's 22-0 and people are like, oh, they blew them out. Tom, this was 22-0 at the half. So this has been a 0-0 half to be played. So both teams, maybe they just needed a quarter or two, just like we did, to get their feet in, get their feet down.
Especially with the way that I'm trying to set everything up, and then the sound goes, and my son ends up making his debut here.
Yes, but maybe they needed that, and now once they got their feet down, they're battling. It's a good game. Now again, you don't know if there's substitutions being made or people are in the game that never are in the game, but by the same token, it's still 0-0 in the second half.
And Arbutus has not given up.
No.
I mean, even though down 3 scores, offensively things have not worked out, but outside that 36-yard run on 3rd and 35, I was actually surprised more past it because, you've got to be tired after running that type of play, trying to find the right person.
All right, here we go.
Yep. Got to, Got to get it back together. So now let's get the offense in.
All right, here
Let's
we
see
go.
what we can get. Maybe we'll get 4 passes out of this.
All right, well, it'll be 1st and 10, but the ball is going to be spotted at the 10-yard line. So Arbiters may not win this game, but they obviously are going to be fighting till the very last whistle.
And that's what you want. You want that out of your team. Again, this is amateur. This is, minor league football, but everybody wants to come in and play. And everybody wants to do something out there, so let them.
I totally agree with that. And this is an organization that's been around for a long time.
I believe 1923, Tom.
If that's so, it's a century for them.
Yeah, 23, 27, something like that's way.
10 seconds, 10, 10.
All right, I got an oral game clock on the part of the official. 1st and 10. As here's Haskins back to pass. He'll throw left, and the receiver stumbles down. Kevin Brown was the intended receiver. That goes incomplete. And it's just been that type of day. I mean, sometimes things just don't happen. I mean, every team has that.
Right. You do. You have a game where, nothing clicks. And you just hope that you come back from it, And there could be a lot of factors why nothing's clicking. It could be the rush. It could be that the defenders are up there. It could be that, you can feel those feet coming at you. But, usually if it's a shutout, it means that defense has played a great game.
Totally agree. And it also could be the field condition, too, because it probably is still wet from the afternoon showers we had. But I don't know how much that would really have played any effect on both sides, because there were 3 early touchdowns on the part of the Bengals, so not sure how much it really would have played a role here. But now on 2nd and 10, here's Haskins with a high snap and a handle. There's a wide open hole. And I'm not sure why it weren't busting through straight ahead. But it ends up being some positive yards there. It'll be 3rd down, probably a couple yards short.
Brian Chapman on that carry. So.
See, they're obviously still going. And they gave him 7, so it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 17.
All right, definitely. Just some post-game notes for Tom.
Yeah, we will have a post-game interview following at the end of the game. So here on 3rd down, here's a handoff, which will get him a 1st down. Bouncing off another player, still going to about the 30. That's going to be about a 13-yard pickup.
Oh, and a big tackle.
And Chapman again, and he's obviously doing his job. Meanwhile,
here comes a cramp.
Oh, somebody's down along the.
I got 2 players down. I didn't see the other one. I saw the cramp. Oh, both cramps. These are both cramps, Tom.
And this is the lesson learned. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Tom has drank. What did Tom have? Big gulp? Is that a Wawa Big Gulp? What is that?
That was actually
an XL.
Well,
I didn't even know they make those.
Well, here's the thing. Well, you got to consider that those places you get all the rewards, and that one was an extra reward, free any size fountain beverage. I'm like, I'm tanking this one.
Tom was using those reward cards down in Florida. My gosh. But anyways, yep. So let's see what's going on here, because now we're gonna. Yeah, this is a bad. I saw him grabbing the back thigh. So this is a mean bird. He's got a bad cramp in his leg. So we hope he heals up. And this is, like I said, this is just liquid. You gotta get some liquid in, get some Gatorade, get some salt. Get some pickle juice, get whatever you can. Home remedies.
Put it all in a blender.
Yep. When you go home, make sure you stretch out. Make sure you get that ligament out, because it's the back of his thigh.
Yeah, that can be very difficult. And unfortunately, and I hate to say this, we see too many football games where players do that, like the second half of the game, and even the most adverse conditions, even if it's 90 degrees outside or even if it's a pleasant day, if you're not used to having your body out there, then it becomes an issue. And, birds hobbling, it could be worse.
Yeah, we don't know, and we're not going to speculate. We hope it's just a cramp, but, hopefully we get him back on the field as soon as possible.
All right, so it will be 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. So the ball will be spotted at the 31, like I said.
Got a few substitutions coming in here.
Yeah, last-minute ones. I mean, not sure how much time is left.
Smith,
As like I said,
go ahead.
The official time is kept on the field, so.
Yeah, it can't be more than 1 or 2 plays.
Probably a couple more, because now players are starting to go down. Now it becomes a safety issue.
You don't want that. Especially they got to sit on a bus now for 4 hours to go home, so that's no fun either.
Here's a handoff going up the middle, leaning over to about the 33-yard line. And they're saying move the clock.
Yeah, it's Brian Chapman again.
Chapman for another 2 yards.
Move the chain. Oh.
The officials
And
are
Tom,
moving. I think
believe
that's
it.
Yep, it is. So Howard will take care of you for a moment as the final is 22-0. So Howard, go ahead.
Yes, Tom. Tom's going down because he's going to be getting our microphone back from the referee before he jumps in his car and runs out of here, so we don't lose another one. And he's also going to get us a player to come up here, so we're going to have a post-game player interview. So stick around. Anybody that's still watching, we will have a post-game interview for you. So just stick with us here, and momentarily they will be coming up. So you'll see the handshake.
The announcers?
And final score. Let me get the final in there for you. It's a great night of football, great night of streaming. Fixed all our problems. Again, like, live, do it all. Whatever you can. And we will get an interview as soon as Tom comes back up. He's getting the referee. I think he got the thing off the referee already. And I'm going to see him heading out there soon. Did you get Nadir?
Yeah, I told him get Nadir.
Get him now. Get him now. Hurry up. Hurry up. Tell him to come up. Just grab him and say, come on up before all this. So your post-game interview is going to be from the Tri-State Bengals. We're going to have Nadir Smith up here, wide receiver. And we will have him momentarily. It looks like they're making their way over the sideline here. Tom's running down there. Tom's pretty good about doing this. I give him a lot of credit. Well, maybe we should. Let's see if we can get him. Too much dead air. So anyways, our next game will be next Saturday night at the home of the Connecticut Mustangs in Meriden, Connecticut. So look for the broadcast next week. I believe it's either a 6 or a 7 o'clock game. And we will be live again, 6 or 7 o'clock. As the coach gets a shower. We didn't get it, but Coach Bill got one. So hopefully this won't be too long because here comes some more. Oh, gets him on the other side. So again, we're looking at our players out in the middle of the field there. Let's see if Tom can grab them. I don't even see Tom. I'm looking for him though. There he is. He's over on the sideline. He's got a mirror. Maybe he left already. Nadir. Where's Nadir? Oh, we got a proposal going on out there. And I believe she said yes. Another proposal with a yes. How great is that? Extra footage for you. Sounds like the Thundering Herd are coming up.
We got him.
Ah, he made it up at the leg.
Yeah, what up?
All right, I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to kill audio. We're going to kill audio for 1 second while we get everybody set up and give him the directions so he doesn't.
All right, we are back here in Voorhees, New Jersey. I'm Tom Wilkins, and one of the MVPs of this game from the Tri-State Bengals, a mean bird who we were a little bit worried about at the very end of the game, but he had a huge role in the Tri-State Bengals 22-0 win over the Arbutus Big Red. And he came up with that big interception late in the first half. Describe that one.
Yeah, it felt good. The play kind of broke down. The quarterback tossed it off to his running back, and they did like a little like trick play kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And they threw it. It was like a lollipop ball, went straight up in the air, and it came straight down on me. I told the defense, I said, I got it. grabbed that thing, and I tried to run to the crib, but I think number 2 on the other team, he pushed me out. I really should have brought it to his front door and ran him over, but
well,
it is what it is.
Hey, it does happen, and obviously, I mean, Arbiter is a very respectable franchise, and clear cut, you had all things on all cylinders. Like at the very beginning, you stated you were here, and you didn't let up, and that's why all your points came in the first half. What was the game plan your coaches gave for you, and how was it so successful in tonight's game?
We play fast, we play hard, we come out and we punch them in the mouth, and that's really how we play, straight to the point. Like, we're not even going to come out here and play around with no teams. We're going to get straight to the point. We want to win. We want to score early and get turnovers. That's it.
And that's exactly what you did. Basically, in between 2 plays and I forget who had the first interception between the 2 scores you guys had. But your defense obviously was magnificent today, and you really closed down a lot of the holes too, and you really forced the opposing quarterback to make some bad decisions.
Yeah, this is we just built this team, and we coming in to make a statement. We're not about to come and lay down for anybody. We coming to really play football for real. We're not even going to do a whole bunch of talking. It's going to be in between the sidelines, sideline to sideline. We coming.
One more question for you. I would have to say, how has that formula been so successful, and where do you go from here after a big win?
You said how has what been successful?
I mean, how has your defense been so successful as a team this year? And now that you have this win under your belt, where you go down the line as to how things are going to go for the end of the year?
In terms of how we got here, practice. We practice at least 2 times a week. Before we come into the game, we get the game plan ready. We have Zoom calls if anybody can't make practice and things like that. And from here, we're not stopping. We going for multiple championships. This league, next league, the league after that, we're going for the chip.
Well, hey, and you got off to a great start, and hopefully the rest of the season works out well. Amin Bird, congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
And did you want to get some shots real quick?
Yeah, shout out to my son, Mean Jr. He up next.
Well, get this. My son Dan made his debut on doing broadcasting too. So a shout out to him as well.
Yep, shout out to Dan.
So, yep. Well, all the best to you for the remainder of the year, and obviously stay healthy and drink some more water.
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right. So with that, we're finished up here from Voorhees. For Howard Gaber, my son Dan, and of course everyone here at HSG Network, I'm Tom Wilkins. Your final score, the Tri-State Bengals 22 and the Arbutus Big Red 0. Hope you enjoyed things on the HSG Network.